A Matt Clark's return to The Young and the Restless had most fans scratching their heads in confusion. After 24, Yon the Young and the Restless. October 31, Sharon Newman faced Matt Clark after 20 years. The Halloween episode left her spooked after the man she thought was dead had returned in Los Angeles. Ears. Y&R fans react to Matt Clark's shocking return from the dead, and their divided Sharon Case, has been trying to get answers about Noah's Lucas Adams accident. Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun, mentioned that Noah collaborated with a man named Mitch, Roger Howarth, who gave fans a sneak peek at his new role. Sharon bumped into that man, who is actually Matt Clark. This man wreaked havoc on her and Nick, Joshua Morrow, before. Matt acted as if he weren't the man who had once tormented them. Matt tried to break up Sharon and Nick, but it never worked. When he returned in 2000, the actor Russell Lawrence played the role. Matt had another moniker at the time. He went by the name Carter Mills and got plastic surgery to fool everyone. This time, Matt wanted to frame Nick and use the Newmans to get closer to Sharon, but his attempts were stopped by Victor, Eric Braeden. Matt was hospitalized after Trisha Dennison, Sabrin Janae, one of his rape victims, drove him off a cliff. He was trying to use her to frame Nick for the crime. At the time, Matt had a breathing tube. He dramatically pulled it out and made one more shot to frame Nick. He claimed that he raped Sharon, which didn't turn out to be true. When Sharon learned she was pregnant, Nick suggested that she get a paternity test, but it came to a tragic end. Sharon fell, which led to the baby being born early. Unfortunately, it was a stillbirth. Nick found out he was the father. It's been 24 years since Matt's been on Y&R, so his appearance came as a shock to the viewers, who had never given him a second thought. Even some of the newer viewers were confused about the Mitch-Matt situation. Most of them took to X, formerly Twitter, where they shared their divided opinions. Most were confused as to why the writers would bring Matt Clark back. One fan posted, "Soap fans are willing to go along with a back-from-the-dead storyline that doesn't make sense if it is a character that shouldn't have died. Like Diane, bringing back a villain who died on screen, so Roger Howarth can be on a few months, is shakier ground." Someone else asked, "Bringing back Matt Clark, who died on screen and even came back as a ghost at some point. Really? They didn't have any better idea for Roger Howarth?" Not all the comments were negative. Some fans are interested in seeing what Howarth will bring to this role, despite the fact that Matt Clark's past is somewhat disturbing to consider. Meanwhile, other soap fans are looking forward to the mini GH reunion on Y&R. They're excited to see what trouble these actors will cause. Fan wrote, "I had no idea Roger Howarth was joining Y&R. Matt Cohen, Tamara Braun, and Roger. GH Plus, Billy Flynn days. I love it." Some naysayers claimed Howarth is too old to be a villain. Others didn't want another rapist to join the soap, especially one terrorizing Sharon. One self-proclaimed Rogerbot argued, "Roger Howarth tries to make soap magic where often there is none. Roger cannot change the year he was born, or the roles that he is offered and paid to do. However, Roger can bring his light to every scene he is in, and he does." What are your thoughts on Matt Clark's return? Are you excited about Howarth's new role? Let us know in the comments section below. The shockwaves have been felt across the soap opera world as Matt Clark, the infamous villain from The Young and the Restless, makes a stunning return from the dead after 24 years. This unexpected twist has left fans in disbelief, and the reaction has been nothing short of explosive. Some fans are thrilled to see this classic character back, while others are questioning the logic behind such a dramatic move. How did Matt Clark manage to survive all these years? And why now? Set the stage. The soap opera world is no stranger to twists and turns, but few can rival the audacity of this one. The Young and the Restless, Y&R, has always pushed the boundaries of storytelling, but this plotline has fans talking. For those who remember Matt Clark, his villainous antics and complicated relationships were key storylines in the 90s. His return brings both excitement and confusion to loyal fans who were invested in his original story. Arced up Matt Clark first appeared on Y&R in the early 90s, portrayed by Richard Gleason. He quickly became one of the most hated characters in Genoa City, known for his manipulative and destructive nature. Over time, his character evolved, but his final arc left fans in shock when he was seemingly killed off. For over 2 decades, fans believed that Matt Clark had been written out of the show permanently. The shocking reveal. Fast forward to the present day, and fans are left with their jaws on the floor as Matt Clark returns from the grave, albeit with no clear explanation for his miraculous survival. The twist is so bold that it has everyone asking questions. How could a character like Matt Clark, whose fate was sealed so conclusively, come back to life? Was it all an elaborate ruse? Or did Matt fake his death to escape the consequences of his actions? Immediate reactions. Fans took to social media the moment the news broke, with hashtags like "Matt Clark returns" and "We are our return" trending. There was an immediate buzz surrounding the storyline. Some fans rejoiced at the prospect of seeing a familiar face, while others expressed frustration and confusion over the lack of build-up and explanation for his resurrection. OM fans were overjoyed to see Matt Clark back on screen. For them, his return brings a sense of nostalgia and excitement. The character was such an integral part of Y&R during his original run that his absence was sorely felt. His return has revitalized a portion of the fan base that longed for the dramatic tension and intrigue that Matt Clark brought to the show. Many long-time viewers were especially excited to see the interaction between Matt and the newer characters. The contrast between the old and new generation of Genoa City residents added an extra layer of drama to the unfolding storylines. Fans also appreciated the unexpectedness of the twist, acknowledging that soap operas are meant to shock, surprise, and delight. Fan criticism, on the other hand, there are those who feel that this decision undermines the integrity of the show. To them, Matt Clark's return feels like a cheap attempt at shock value, undermining the consistency of the series' narrative. Many argue that his death was a pivotal moment in the show's history, and that undoing it cheapens the emotional impact it had on the characters and viewers. Some fans have expressed frustration with the lack of explanation. Soap operas are known for their outlandish storylines, but the resurrection of a character like Matt Clark, without any build-up or plausible reasoning, feels forced to some. Fans who followed Matt's original storyline, including his violent and manipulative actions, are finding it hard to believe that a character with such a tragic and well-defined arc could just come back to life with no meaningful explanation. A shift in narrative direction. There is also concern that Matt Clark's return signals a shift in the direction of the young and the restless. Fans worry that the show might be focusing too much on nostalgia and legacy characters at the expense of original storytelling. For some, the resurrection of Matt Clark feels like a move to reignite interest in the show by rehashing old storylines rather than crafting fresh, innovative plots. Y&R has been in the business of mixing nostalgia with fresh faces for years. However, this latest twist brings the question of whether the show is relying too heavily on its past glory. The return of Matt Clark might be a move to bring back viewers who remember the show's early days, but it could also alienate newer viewers who are not familiar with the character's history. Character development and storytelling. The return of Matt Clark raises questions about character development and the show's narrative integrity. Will Matt Clark become a central figure in the current storylines? Or will his return be a fleeting moment? How will other characters react to his sudden reappearance? And will it add depth to their own arcs? These are the questions fans are asking, and the answers will determine how successful Matt Clark's return will ultimately be in the eyes of the audience. A turning point for the show, Matt Clark's return might serve as a catalyst for new storylines, introducing dramatic conflicts, new alliances, and perhaps even revisiting old rivalries. It could also open the door to bringing back other beloved or hated characters from Y&R's past. However, for this to work, the show must strike the right balance between honoring its history and moving forward with compelling, original content, as with most major plot twists. The reaction to Matt Clark's return is likely to remain divided. Some fans will continue to embrace the shock factor, while others will struggle to see the character's return as anything more than a gimmick. One thing is certain though, The Young and the Restless has once again demonstrated its ability to keep fans on the edge of their seats. Whether or not Matt Clark's return will prove to be a lasting success remains to be seen. Final thoughts. For The Young and the Restless, Matt Clark's shocking return is a bold move that has both re-energized the fan base and sparked debate. Fans will be watching closely to see how this storyline plays out and whether it will lead to deeper, more complex narratives or if it will fizzle out as just another shock factor. One thing's for sure, the soap opera world is never short on drama.